Hi guys, welcome to Winning Easy. My name is Wade and this is my co-host Dan.
Hey, how are you?
How's your week been, mate?
Yeah, good. Very busy, but yeah, no, it's good. Got the day off today, so ready to rip in. So
That's it, that's what we like to do, yeah. We look forward to this time of the week when we do our show. And we'll be previewing the Doomman meeting. Like we said last week, we're previewing the Metropolitan meeting in Queensland, all the way up to Magic Moons.
Yeah. Get tuned in and dialed in for all the festivities that the Magic Millions hold each year.
That's it. It's a 9-race card. It's some hard race on the weekend, but big fields and
good value.
Yeah, there is some good value. Hopefully, if they win. But yeah, we'll get into that later. But we'll start with get straight into some of racing news, and some big news today was finally they announced the prize money cuts in up here. What can you say? Whether it's, it's understand, as we mentioned last week, the financial loss last year and this year for the Racing Queensland, and that's not good. Something had to be done. You can't be having an industry and it's losing money. Especially a gambling industry. Yeah. I don't know if there's any gambling industry that loses money. It'd be probably a first, but some action there to be taken. But really, I don't know if it's really good news for the participants.
No, it's really going to make this industry struggle even more in Queensland, and as much as it breaks my heart to say it, we're already miles behind these other states, and this is unfortunately another step back in the wrong direction. We're moving forward.
That's it.
And unfortunately we're just constantly taking steps back, so something has to change soon, I tell you, because they've got a stranglehold on this industry, and it's going to crumble. And I said it last week, I'll say it again, it's going to die. And at the moment it's pretty much on the noose, and it's strangling, it's taking its last few breaths. And unless we cut it down, and
that's how bad the situation has got. I think nationally, I think it's an issue, but up here, it's really, really bad at the moment. And one of them, these cuts have happened, but I want to see in the release of the thing. We'll talk about a few key points in a minute. Is actually how the plan to get it moving forward, and actually increase prize money, increase revenue.
What's the way out?
Increase participation. Yeah. We've heard a lot of talk from the Bentley era, from the Dixon era. Nothing's really happened. Prize money did go up last year, and the prize money levels are still going to be a bit higher than they were beforehand. But you can't promise people hope and then take it away, especially coming on the back of the prize money in New South Wales last week getting increased.
Yeah, well, that's
I don't understand why you'd race a horse in southeast Queensland when you can go over the border to Wollongbar and Ballina, get something for running. Yeah, doesn't cost you anything running, and you get a couple $100 for running. Yeah, if you run here, the Gold Coast, you run 5th. You get a bill the following week in the mail that has to be passed on to the owners. Yeah. Tell me, where would you rather race a horse?
No, that's right. Yeah, and that's what I say. It's constantly stepping backwards, and it's something has to be done soon. These people need to wake up and realise that our industry in our racing Queensland, we're drowning, and we need someone to throw us something to help us get us out of it, because unfortunately, like I say, it's not looking good. It's in a bad way, and a lot of the other states are thriving, and somehow, it keeps coming back to it. What's so different? Where are we going wrong?
One of the key points, and this is an issue, and obviously we have our metropolitan, our provincial, and our country racing. All 3 tiers, all in Australia. Each state has that level thing. I think that one of the big things here is country racing up here and the non-tab meetings. Now, they've been given 4 years of cuts, and they're going to get compensated by the state government. So the actual state government is going to, for the next 4 years, pay out their own money to keep the country racing clubs going until they can figure out how to have sustainability. So that's all good, but the country racing and non-TAB is the issue. Up here, if we have something, gone. Over 50% of our meetings in Queensland in a year are non-tabs, which means all that money that it costs
Yeah.
to prize money
Yeah.
and fund and give
Yeah.
money for the clubs and that, no money comes back into the
yeah.
issue because no one can bet on it.
Yeah.
So over 50% of our meetings are non-tab.
Yeah.
Now that cannot go on, and we don't want to see country clubs dying, which a lot of them are under the pump. But we need to come up with a thing where we need to cut the country non-tab back.
No,
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's too much of it, and that's where a lot of our revenue is going towards it. And you know, as bad as it is to say, it's kind of it's cutting the throat of everywhere else. You know,
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, I mean, like, we need country racing, but we can't have that affecting the rest of the state.
You've got to have the balance.
That's it.
Like,
and at the end of the day, without the strong metropolitan racing, there would be like nothing. That's your cornerstone. That's your block. Your Sydney, your Melbourne racing. So that's another thing. What else have we got? We also see it's not just the thoroughbred. We see harness and greyhound racing also suffering, and I feel a bit sorry because harness racing is one of the main issues. They just continually lose money.
Yeah.
No one's bet on it.
Yeah.
And so they need to come up with an idea of how to get people betting on it, or have a total revamp of harness racing.
Yeah.
It's a great industry as well, but we can't have them losing $11-12 million every year and expect thoroughbred and greyhounds to keep up.
Probably doesn't help as well when you've got $1.04 favourites running around all the time. So
that's exactly right.
It's not a lot of the time. It's just plain and simply. It's just non-competitive. So,
and people won't bet on it.
And that's right. And it's sad, but it's true. So we have to fix this before it's too late. So it might be already.
It's a laughing. Queensland racing is a laughing stock of Australian racing.
Yeah.
People just laugh at it, and it's embarrassing. We're going to have Gold Coast races drop down from 16 to 14. Just terrible. Like I said, Moolabah going to have $20,000 races minimum as of next year, April next year, or July next year. This will come into effect as of April next year.
It's becoming a rich man's game, really, and they're constantly upping all these big races in all these, these races where only the big stables realistically are going to get to, unless you get a 1 in a million thing, So, and for the little guys who need these, the income for, your maidens and your class ones and all this stuff, that's getting cut down, and all that money's being shipped to these big races. Make it a spectacle, make it a draw card, but don't kill the little guy in the process, and I think that's what's happening.
Yeah. Saying that our big race, Stradbroke, which got put up from $1 million to $2 million, that's come down to 1.5. People will say, well, they've made a fair playing field of all. They haven't tried to distinguish between things. Racing Queens have made an overall cut. Fair enough. The issue I have is that they've agreed to keep their 7-year contract with Magic Millions for the $10 million race day. Now, I find that, why are we propping up an absolute multi Jerry Harvey and funding his Magic Millions when we're cutting prize money everywhere else, but we're happy to pay $10 million a year to have a massive race day, one race day a year. I don't understand why Jerry himself can't put the $10 million in.
That's spare change for him.
If he wants a $10 million race day, put his money out.
That's right.
I don't understand why the rest of the state has to suffer to have this one glamorous race day that for the other 364 days a year, people are going broke. So, and it's not helping, because with the price being increased in Major Millions, let's see this year how many of the horses that win the race on the day are Queensland horses. This day. So they're just going to come up and take the money. And
so it's a lose-lose situation.
That's
at
it.
the moment,
So it's not good. So it's very disappointing news, and like we said, I just want to see a clear path for owners, trainers, jockeys, strappers, these track will ride it. How are we going to make this industry sustainable up here is the big question. I'd love to be in charge.
Vote for Wade. Vote one. Vote one.
Okay, well, that's some racing news. Let's see if we just quickly any other racing news. No, we'll just quickly go on to Computer's Frozen. We'll go on to the good and bad.
Yeah.
And we'll may as well get straight into the bad. The week rules.
We knew it.
This last week we really were on our high horse about hoping they would not come in.
Yeah.
Well, we knew they were going to come in.
Yeah.
Racing Australia was standing firm, but we were hoping the jockeys would take action.
We were hoping they'd grow a pair and realise they had little dangly things between their legs that actually give you courage and, you know, make you want to stand up for what you believe in. And obviously nothing there because they've dropped their backbone.
Yeah.
I tell you, like, the jocks are jellyfish, and I'm sorry to say, if you don't know what that means, it means they don't have a spine, they don't have a backbone.
Yeah.
If you are that upset about these whip rules and these changes, there was one simple thing you had to do. You had to strike, you had to not show up, did you do it? No. Because why? Because you're scared.
Yeah.
And, you know...
And I think it's even further that. I think they know their reputation.
Yeah.
Tight.
Oh,
Couldn't afford to lose 1 day's salary.
Yeah.
1 day's wage.
Yeah.
And how much do you make a year? I'd like to earn your wage.
Yeah.
And you could not strike for 1 day for the better of the industry. And in the long run, yous will suffer.
No, that's right,
Because yous will suffer because racing will die, and also there will only be certain type of horses that will win races, and that means only certain type of jockey. Certain jockeys will be winning the majority of races.
And what's going to happen as well? You're going to start getting fines. You're going to start getting suspensions. You know, so you're going to be away from the track even more, and you're going to have even more money bleeding out. So
that's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace, and I think the trouble is that there are reportedly some jockeys who are very keen for it, and some not. And I think in that regard, I think it's a shame that they all couldn't unite. Those ones who weren't for striking, I think they really need to have a look at themselves. And there were some high-profile ones out there. I think even Craigie Williams was one of them. I'm a big Craigie fan. He wasn't in favour of striking, and he was actually happy with the whip rules coming in. I don't think striking would achieve anything if it wasn't all in one unison. I don't think you have some jockeys striking and not, because Racing Australia will be like, well, we don't want to ride, don't ride. There's plenty of jockeys that will. I think you all have to do it, and it's really a shame that you have not been able to unite on this. Like I said, this is a really embarrassment to Australian racing, and I want to know, like, why are we doing this? Why are we so scared of following the world's lead when we have the best racing product? This talk about a welfare issue is just absolutely crap.
So, how many horses have died from being struck by a whip?
That's it.
I'll give you a clue. It's in the shape of a donut.
If a horse does not like the whip, it will pull up.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, you don't understand. We are hitting them with a padded whip these days compared to the old leather whip, which, don't worry, that was a totally different thing.
And that's what I say, for the people out there who haven't seen one of these padded whips, picture basically a pool noodle, you know? Like, it's basically a modified pool noodle, you know? So
it's like a fight squad.
It really is. Oh, that'd hurt more, I think.
Yeah,
for sure.
it would.
That's
how they're going to look soon. When we do like squatting flies down the straight 3 times, or 5 times for the 100. I have to admit, I'm really disappointed in Racing Victoria here, because they were actually the ones back early in the year, led by the steward Terry Bailey, who actually sent a report to Racing Australia, a submission saying that please maybe reduce the whip less. And I'm pretty disappointed that Racing Victoria was the one that initiated it. And that Racing New South Wales, Racing Queensland, Racing WA
all jumped on board.
Didn't really have the guts to say, nah, well, you know, this is not right. I know actually Western Australian jockeys are really, really angry. I know they're really, really angry, and they were actually very close to striking. But like, once again, it's no really point if
they're not all going to do it together.
But this is where the hypocritical thing is, where they are talking about these helmets, which are going to come into effect as of March next year, that they are really considering striking on that issue. So I can't see the difference in what the issue is there. All I know is that some horses, you're never going to see the potential of them. Some of our favourite horses in the past, which we might mention here, let's have a look, because let's have a look here. Horse by this name, Octagonal. That's winning the Cox Plate 1995. Well, under these whip rules today, you might have went and saw him win a Class 1 at Kembla on a Saturday afternoon. Alright? Because you wouldn't have seen him. Let's have a look. We'll go. This is called Racing Champions, by the way. Horse called Northerly. Now, I don't know how many times he got hit with the whip. Maybe 48 in 100 metres. Because he had to be. Did not hurt him. Caulfield Cup Cox Plate winner. You might have seen him running around in a Bunbury Maiden. Otherwise, let's have a look. Well, this is one that needed to get wound up because superimposed. Now, this is the type of horse you're not going to see.
Yeah. No.
Because he was a back marker.
Yeah.
He came for last.
Yeah.
And needed to be absolutely stoked up.
Yeah.
And hit.
Yeah.
And hit constantly.
Yeah.
To get the best out of him.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see horses like this ever again. Because it's going to come now, like Christy Simon said the other day, it's going to come, who jumps out, who gets to the front first, as long as they get a fairly soft lead, just give them their head and let them run.
Yeah.
You're not going to see the skill of training even. Like, you're not even going to see a trainer being able to test their skill, get a staying horse that needs to be wound up.
Yeah.
Like, this crap from, Douglas White and that the other day saying that he's happy with the rules that Australian race has been brought in. He said it.
It's because he's got a terrible action though, these European type actions, like world class riders, I will admit. But you look at them, these riders like Craigie Williams, these riders like Joe Maria, like you say, Douglas White, they have this very backhanded European waving thing that they do, and it doesn't affect them really.
Well, he was saying that in his 14 years that he's never really been a believer hitting horses, and if you look at all most of his wins, he doesn't believe he has to hit them to get the best out of them. And I was like, mate, well, that's fine. That's what you believe. That's fine. But, mate,
99% of the others aren't in your boat. Yeah.
That's it. And that's one example, mate. But under Hong Kong, let's get this right. Hong Kong don't have restrictions on the whip.
Yeah, well, so
they have the stewards actually watching it, and if they believe a jockey has used excessive force of the whip when not required, they get fined and suspension. Yeah. And I think it should be the discretion of the stewards.
Common sense.
That's it. That's all it comes down to. Common sense. Those three horses I said, you would not see those three horses under this era today. You honestly wouldn't. And I'll put a thing out to John Massara here because you're the head of Australian racing. You're the head of everything because you want to be. Alright? I want to know why you're doing this. Why are you crippling our racing industry? Not just on this, but on a lot of issues. But this one thoroughly. But why are you doing this? I just don't understand. They were three of the most favourite horses of all time. Not just grey horses, but fan favourites. And racing when people aren't turning up to the races, how are we going to see horses like that these days?
Well, I'll take you back to even another one of our favourites as well, old Weekend Hustler. I'm sure that's a household name for a lot of you guys. And
in recent times,
he was, if Bradley didn't get stuck into him, 300-400 metres out and pump him, he wouldn't win a lot of his races,
That's the difference between winning and losing. And the thing is, what we're doing there, by having the whip rules the old way, every horse got their chance. That's because some horses didn't need to be hit, but some needed to be. And it was up to the jockeys and getting the best out of the horse, giving every horse their chance. Now, you're not. Going into a race, there are horses that are going to be turning up on race day that have no chance. And from now on, you'll see horses' form just drop off.
And they need to understand as well that it's not these jockeys. They're not just gonna whip a horse for the sake of it. If it's not gonna be in the finish, if it's not gonna be competitive, they're not gonna pull the whip. So it's not. It's that old saying, flogging a dead horse. Like if they're not in the hunt or they don't believe, even if they don't believe they need it, if they're going well enough, they're not going to use it.
I've seen many Group 1, some big races where the last 100 metre jockey pulled the whip away. The horse is giving their best. They know it, and they don't need to hit them. But there are some horses that just need to be constantly reminded and hit to keep fighting. And I just don't understand why we're doing this to our industry. And John Massar, if you'd like to come on our show, please, we're more than welcome. I know you wouldn't, because you wouldn't like to get interrogated.
Mate, I tell you.
But I just want to know, and at the end of the day, all these decisions are leading to the abandonment of the Whitby total,
Yeah.
like we said last week, that'll be the next straw.
Yeah.
And that's where the jockeys then, what are you going to do? Strike on that, are you?
Yeah.
With no whip? Well, it's too late then.
Yeah.
You've given in now, and Race Australia will just make it a law.
Oh, well, they've set the precedence now, unfortunately. So,
I just won't get over this, and even though I'll be giving my tips later, I'm taking a stand that I won't be betting for the rest of the year.
Yep.
And maybe for the foreseeable future. I'll put my money on the grounds. I know people might say about the live betting thing, but I love the dogs, and I'm not going to be supporting the industry. I'm strongly not believing for the time being, and there's still time to change it. They can change it next week. Yeah, they can change it. The jockeys have the power to change it whenever. They can change it in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
They can just wake up one day and say we're going on strike.
Yeah.
And it'll be changed in one day.
That's all it takes.
They can do it next week or the week after in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
But it's up to them if they want to do it. They can do it in 5 years' time. They want it.
Yeah.
They're the ones with power here. Without no jockeys, there's no race. Nothing to bet on. Nothing coming back to the clubs. Government. Masara, we'll be gone.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I'm really, really passionate about this, and I just am disgusted by the jockeys here. And they won't be able to get my support again. I know this. I support them now this thoroughly.
Yeah.
And with the helmets.
Yeah.
But this is just.
I think they've shown a lot of weakness here, unfortunately, and for old school, fellas like us, I think once you show that you don't have a pair, there's no going back from there, unfortunately. So I know that sounds wrong to say, but we say it how it is, and that's that's how we read it. So
and like I said, I think the majority of the jockeys will be the not so big names that will even suffer more. Because they're not getting on the best horses. Yeah. Those best horses, the gap's going to widen.
Yeah.
So you're going to only have a select few that will be winning big races, and those jockeys, when you're crying poor on that, you can blame each other. But
remember that time when you could have done something.
That's it. Some other I'll say is about. I've just got a little issue. It's not a little issue, but Racing Queens again. I don't understand why they're doing. We've got a meeting obviously on Saturday at Doomben. And we only got the one track up here racing, like the Brisbane track with Eagle Farm still not open. It will be open May next year apparently.
May 2050.
The way it's going, who knows? But I just want to understand why when we've got our big races coming in last week and this week and next week we're racing there again, why would we program a Friday twilight meeting at Doomben the day before?
All about the moolah, my friend, unfortunately. And like I say, they're not putting the welfare of the track into consideration.
Well, the track's ruined.
Yeah, well it is.
They've done a great job to have that many meetings. But I just don't understand when you've got a big meeting this Saturday, you want the best racing service.
That's right.
And it's already had an extra probably 60 meetings the last year with the Eagle Farm closure, and you program a twilight meeting on the Friday afternoon. Why?
Well, especially since we've had a sniff of rain around as well, so I mean it's just going to cut up even worse. And
why do you not have a Friday night meeting at Sunny Coast again?
Sunshine Coast, Toowoomba. These tracks, this is what they thrive off. That's their kind of signature, So I mean, it's
just a little issue, but it's one of those things up here that it's those 100 little things that make a difference of why the industry up here is going backwards. Like who programs that? I just don't understand. Like you think it's just like our word before you mentioned common sense.
No, well that's right. Yeah.
Common sense.
Common sense isn't that common, unfortunately.
No. The rail's out 10 on Friday, then it's going to come back to the 6 metre mark on Saturday. Going by that, with a bit of rain, you want to be near the fence on Saturday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If all the track plays level, the track's just a go track.
Yeah.
We had a horse breakdown sadly last week, Rapid Brandy, sadly. And Scotty out there, really feel sorry for you, mate. Really talented horse, I know how much you like him, and there was a lot of horses pulled up injured. The track was just a goat track, and horses are getting injured from it because of the racing service. But we'll program two meetings in 2 days. Jeez, God. And also, can we actually have a proper Racing Queensland board up here? We still have not elected the board since Kevin Dixon got sacked. Jeez, my God. A positive thing we'll give Racing Queensland. This Origin series.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I really like this. on the one tiny negative, their locals might miss out, but
I don't think it should go for 4 Saturdays. That's my
I agree. Yeah, maybe 2, perhaps 3 would have been long enough, but I tell you, I'm a happy man to see one Danielle Johnson come over to ride. Danielle, if you're watching this, I will get down on my knee and propose to you. I think you're amazing, you're gorgeous, you're talented, you're a freak rider, and
we'd love to get you on our show.
Yes, come on, be
our
part of the
first
Win
guest.
Easy team. You're nothing but respect. I think you're absolutely serving it to the boys over there, which is great to see. And if you haven't seen Danielle Johnson ride, take note of this girl on Saturday. She's on a great chance in one of the races over there, race 4. I think she'll win that race, and I think she'll show what a great rider she is. And importantly, she's a very strong whip rider as well.
Yes.
You wait till you see this girl pull the whip in the left hand.
Yep.
She's very, very talented. So it's great to see, these jocks coming over from Melbourne and from Sydney and from New Zealand to make this little battle of the states.
That's why I've got the Queensland shirt on, because we're going to be supporting Bossy.
Yeah.
Come on, I think it is a good initiative.
Yeah,
And
no,
I'd say that up here we need to try new things.
Yeah.
But I just got a bit of concern that over the 4 Saturdays, by the 3rd Saturday, everyone will be like, oh, they've lost interest in it.
Yeah.
And the hype won't be there. I think they built it up to a 1 day.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a massive thing.
Yeah.
And a new thing. Everyone would have been, oh yeah, this is good. We need some new ideas up here and that. But I just think that, like I said, 4 Saturdays in a row, and it's not doing it cheap because Craigie Williams and Bossy, they're not coming up here for free, so it's more money we're paying to get this thing out.
Yeah.
And
so as long as it gets the results, that's all that we're worried about, really. And like I say, from a selfish point of view, I'm happy to see one D Johnson riding up here because, if I had it my way, I'd wife that girl tomorrow. Just saying. So
well, we've got 4 weeks. We've got 4 weeks to try, and you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
Dreams could come
I'll
true.
take you out to dinner, Danielle, but you got to shout. You got more money than me, so
Winning easy. Try to get some money. On another positive, I want to one of my favourite jockeys. You might have heard him, Nathan Thomas.
Yeah.
The nicest jockey in Australia, I'd say.
Gentleman.
Nicest jockey in Australia.
Yeah.
Had a bit of family success with him through some horses. One of the most honest jockeys there is out there. Just a genuine nice guy.
Yeah.
Jockeys have a reputation of not being that, and don't worry.
Deceitful and bit dishonest and stuff.
I definitely know a few
plenty
of those. But this guy is just a legend. He won a Mighty Lucky, his favourite horse.
Yeah.
And that he rides all the time. He won the Festival Stakes, the big race in Sydney last week.
Yeah.
Listed, probably his biggest win, I'd say, Nathan. He's won a couple of listed races, but I'd say it'd probably been more to him that
Put
win.
a great thrill out of it for sure.
At 20 to 1. Such an underrated horse as well, as we were talking off air.
Yeah.
And he'll go to the Billies in 2 weeks, and I'd love to see him win if he could.
Well, I just want to see him draw a gate because I was saying before, if he draws sort of 1 to 5, he'll give any race a shake. Like he can't seem to draw a gate. That fella, unfortunately,
and he still tries his hard.
Oh, he really does, and unfortunately, he just he's always 13 of 13 or 15 of 16, and gets trapped deep, and through no fault of Nathan's, but he just. And he's still always there or thereabouts, So if he can draw a gate and just get that suck run, save a bit of fuel for the finish, he's always there or thereabouts. So great story, for a great guy, and rap for him and the connection.
I'd love to see him win the Billies and get Nathan's first group win. It'd be awesome. And he gave him a peach of a ride last week. Got stuck into him down the straight, and he was too strong on the line. He really was powerful through the line as well. So the Billies is going to be a great race. Stay tuned for that because in a couple of weeks we'll talk about that when that race on the day. Also, shout out to jockeys. Your favourite jockey, Dean Yendall, doing that great thing for his fan.
Yeah, Dino. In case you don't know, check out Dean Yendall fan page. This guy, guys, if you haven't heard of him, I'm sure you've heard of him. He is one of the most down-to-earth Aussie larrikin blokes you'll ever meet. I sent him a message the other week. I had a message from a fan. Her husband had a 50th coming up, and she asked if there was any way. She even offered to pay for a signed photo or something from Dean. And out of the goodness of his own heart, he signed a pair of of his jockey's bloody pants. Sorry, I had a mind blank then.
Yeah.
And sent them out free of charge. And we got some photos back in from Paul, I believe his name was. So the smile on this guy's face was just absolutely sensational. Said it was the best gift ever, and Dino was just happy to help. So the little things like this from the behind the scenes kind of things that they don't see. Dino, if you watch him, mate, absolute champ. You always got my support, always got my love. You're a great man and a great jock.
I honestly think you're the one that really. Obviously, Dean's been a great ride for years and won many country premierships, but I believe this man right next to me is the one that really exposed Dean to the next level.
Yeah.
Check out his Facebook page, but I know that the great time was when we went to the Cup Carnival about 5-6 years ago. At that stage, he didn't really ride in the city.
Yeah.
And this guy made a banner.
Yeah.
There was a little rhyme, a jingle, or whatever. That was a great one. And had it holding up as all the jockeys went down the roses.
Yeah.
And all the big name jockeys were looking to see if it was them. And then here comes Dino.
Yeah. Still got the goggles at home.
Last out with his sign and all the other jockeys. They weren't happy. But Dino was getting exposed that day. What a legend. And threw him his goggles. And
I think he rode a 30-1 winner during that carnival as well. So it was good times. And like I say, just absolute champion bloke. And to do that out of his own duress and out of his own kindness of his own heart. It's very rare, and massive shout out to Dino. You're a champion, mate, and Paul, happy birthday again. So great to see, and we need more of that. It's just something so simple, and just make someone's day and make their life. He's going to cherish that for the rest of his life, and so just great.
We're hoping if Dino can come up here for the Magic Moons, we'd love to get him on. We'd love to get him on our show.
Oh, for sure.
We'd probably prefer to be our first guest.
For sure.
He typifies us. I think. And, he's just an absolute legend. So check out his fan page. I've got my favourite jockey, for you don't know, is Damien Oliver. My opinion, one of the all-time greats. I've got a fan page as well, Damien Oliver's supporter page on Facebook. Check that out. Nowhere near as successful as him. I don't think he's as popular in some ways as Dino. There's you either love Ollie or you hate him. But as a rider,
can't deny his talent.
I think he's the best, and I've been a fan since I was about 8 years old. And Ollie, if you'd like to come on this show, mate, can't pay you. But if you want to do it for free, that'd be good. But we'd definitely like to get Dino on one day for sure. Danielle, Ollie, you're all welcome there. And I'll make a sneaky comment about someone later as well, who is also invited. Any other topics you want to discuss?
No, I think we've covered a lot of the bases for this week.
We'll get straight into it.
I think we're ready to rip into our preview for Saturday. So,
alright, race 1, you can go first. It's a 2-year-old race, and I love these races because obviously you've got a lot of horses now. It's only 5 weeks away to Magic Millions, you really got to be looking at these 2-year-old races.
That's right. This is where the big guns start to get unleashed around this time. So
Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane.
That's right.
You've got to really keep an eye on those 2-year-old races, even midweeks and stuff. Because with their prize money down there, they can only have to win a midweek and pretty much guarantee them in the field.
That's right. So we're really looking forward to it. So pretty much. Very open race, not a lot of exposed form. Most of these are unraced or have had, one, perhaps two starts top. So for me, I've landed on number 4 here, Crack Me Up from the Liam Birchley stable. Liam always seems to have a lot of success with these youngsters, with the babies. He manages them well. $8 currently. Like I say, you're pretty much guessing, but this stable does well with the babies. So at $8, I'm willing to go that way. Popped in number 5 in for second, number 3 in for third, and number 9 in for fourth. So we're leaning on Liam Birchley there to take out the first race at number 4, Crack Me Up.
Nice. I'm going to go first starter. I'm going to just, like I said, it's a bit of a lottery. I'm going to go number 6, Adiro Star. It's massive odds at the moment. It's drawn a bit wide from the Brian Guy stable. And for you that don't know, Brian has moved his stables from Bungalow, the Gold Coast, out to Canungra on the old Patnap Farm, Wadden Park property. He's now training for, it's called Aquas Farm. He's training for the big Chinese owner. He's moved all his horses out there. And I'm going to take that. I think his horses naturally being out there will
Gonna
improve and
improve.
thrive. And I think a 2-year-old that it's trialled alright, ran second. It's drawn a bit wide, but I'm going to take the risk of that. I'm going to put number 11, Mashani Sylvan for second. Drawn barrier 2, I think a big advantage in those race lock and stayed last week. Your one for third, Bursley for 2 dollars, just amazing. And number 3, come in hot from the Brent Stanley stable.
Yeah.
It's been set towards the Magic Millions, and he wouldn't have brought up here with nothing. Brent's really doing good for himself as a trainer.
Yeah.
So
big watch on the favourite there, guys. It's apparently got a big boom. This horse. It's opened up $2.80. It's already been crunched into $2.60 here from the Kelso Wood stable. We know Kelso won the Magic Millions race a couple of years ago with Real Surreal. So. He's very good with his youngsters as well. So I know, very, very well-bred horse. Cost an absolute fortune. So, like I say, we're not going to tip you into a favourite who we haven't seen before, but keep an eye out for this horse. It's apparently got big raps. So see how it goes. It could be a player come a few weeks time.
So it might, even if it doesn't win on set day, where there's money, it could be worth following. So race 2, mate.
Yeah, race 2 is a staying race. Absolute lottery again, like we said last week. These horses tend to take their turns winning. Landed on number 5 here. Excuse me, 5 at $5. So we got the triple 5 there. 5, number 5 at $5. I think this horse is going well. Never runs a bad race. Pretty much never misses top 3. I'll be out there. I think young Jimmy Ormond to take the ride. I think he still claims 1.5 kilos or 2 kilos. So. Very important with a lot of these weights, very similar these days, and the higher weights to get them down a little bit. So, and he rides really well, Jimmy. So, stick that horse on top. 5 to beat in for second, third, and fourth. We're going to go race book order number 1, 2, and 3 in for second, third, and fourth. So
the one's in great form. Is he Muncie?
Muncie's
starting really keen to goal here.
That's
a big call when he gave up riding.
That's right. Yeah,
but he was very passionate, and he said he would do everything to make success.
Yeah. He's got a horse a bit later on as well who's unbeaten as well, so 2 for 2. So no, he's doing really well.
Well, that one was number 1 Perplexity in the staying race. He'll start favourite again. It's one of the last 3. Great form. I've got him for third. But I'm going to go Hudson County from the Joe Cleary stable. Bossy. Bossy, good to see you up here, back in his hometown.
Staying race is always hard to beat.
Yeah, great staying jockey. Down on 54. I think, Bossy should give it every chance. I think it should be the one to beat. 5 in for second. On the weight scale, compared to Perplexity, I think he'd probably beat on the weekend.
Yeah.
Perplexity for third, and Mullet Man, who I tipped last week, ran a cheeky race last week.
You ran okay,
And Denny Earl's on it. Yeah. So she can get a couple of lengths out of it. Yeah. Could be a difference, but I think he'll improve the fitness run on his belt. And even though it's an open handicap, I don't think this race is any stronger than last week. So I'll put him in for 4, 3, 1, 5, 8.
Race 3, move on to this is another open race. We've found one nice odds here at $10. Going to go number 4 here, Stormcraft for Bossy as well. Do know this guy's talented. I have never had any luck with him. I nickname him 3 wide Bossy because every time I back him, he seems to end up 3 deep. But I think this horse from the David or Les Kelly stable, sorry, I can't remember which one. David Kelly. Very honest horse. He seems to be flying. I think he'll eat up the trip. $10 looks great value, and like I say, Bossy, if you're not 3 wide, I think he'll give it every chance. Popped in number 2 for second, number 5 in for third, and number 7 in for fourth. So Stormcraft, great each way odds, $10. I think that's a good bet.
I've got him in for second because I think he's really knocking on the door. I've got one here, and I honestly, like I said, well, number 4, I didn't even look at the price today until after my selection. So I just looked at what he was, and it's number 12, Katamara Al from the Rob Heathcote stable, and he's $41 at the moment, and I don't understand why he is. I've said, done the form before, looked at the price, and I just don't understand why he's that price. I really don't. I think he's crying out for the mile. He's never ran a place, he only has 6 starts, but he's bred by Monaco Consul. He's crying for the mile. He ran a good race last over 13.50, and I think the 16-15 round Doom will suit him. And if you go back in July, over the 16.40, he got beat 3 lengths in a 2-year-old open handicap, and he can beat a length behind horse like Nesta and that, coming from 12. He's crying out for 16 and beyond, And I just think if Robbie Farad, who's reading both starts his campaign, will know him, I think he'll be the one just charging home. I really think he's still the odds, like I said. Number 4, your one for second, Stormcraft. Number 1, which is the favourite, Perfect Dare for the Matty Dunstable third. And Martinelli, I was talking about Muncie, so 2 from 2. And you can't do more than that, and I'll put that in for 4. But 12, 4, 1, 5, really surprised the odds there.
Yeah, no, nice, mate. No, I'll move on to race 5 here, and...
Race 4.
Sorry, race 4. We won't skip one. Well, yeah, I nearly skipped over my future wife's race here, who I've tipped on top. Number 10 here, Hesitation, goes on top from the Kelso Wood stable. Danielle Johnson to ride. Like I say, this horse is where you'll get to see her at her best. It's in the market. It's deserved favourite. I think it will just win, especially with her on top. She's a great rider. I think she'll boot at home. Won 2 out of its last 3. This horse, I think, is very, very promising. Lightly race horse. $2.70, perhaps a bit short. If you get around at $3.50, I think that's its right price. But yeah, I think this is probably one of the better bets of the day. Number 10, Hesitation. Popped in number 11 in for second, number 7 in for third, and number 2 in for fourth. But number 10, Hesitation, looks extremely hard to beat. And like I say, guys, sit back and enjoy a world-class rider here in Danielle Johnson. Yeah, just enjoy. So
yeah, I'm going to her as well. Hesitation, I just think it's got too much upside. It's the one coming through, good trainer, good jockey. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to back at that price, but I just think it has to just win. I just, be very surprised if it does it. For second, I go One More Magic. It's in good form at barrier 2, and it goes good this horse. You're down on the limit as well. We'll get the good run as well from the gate. Number 8, Stalwart Tycoon. It's on good odds. It's got a good second up record, and it's probably way over the odds than it should be. Number 2, we have fourth, Watling. Consistent, Craigie Williams. It's an honest horse. Doesn't win out long term.
No, that's right.
They look like 5, second, 5th, 5th, 3rd. It's always around the money, and I think you'll get the same thing this weekend. Mentioned here, one of our favourites, Cyril Sport's got a ride. Cyril,
Cesar, you're a legend, mate.
If Cyril wants to come on our show, we're more than welcome. Would love to interview Cyril as well.
Group 1 winning jock,
I'll tell you, he's a Group 1 winning jock, Bow Road. Still riding at his age. Still boots home the occasional winner. Cyril, mate, if you want to come on our show, you're more than welcome. We'd love to ask you some questions about your Road success in your glory days, which were 25 years ago, mate.
That'd be awesome.
It would be awesome. We'd love to. We'd love to pay you. And we would also probably like to ask him another question.
When are you going to pull the pin, mate? That's what I'm looking forward to.
When are you going to retire, mate? Surely you're retiring.
He's champ old Cyril for sure. He's been around the block plenty of times. He knows what it's all about. He's. Alright, so we're going to move on to race 5.
That's what this show's about. Not taking it too seriously.
You got to have a laugh, guys. So anyway, let's move on from Big Sis. We're going to move on. Race 5. Alright, we've got on top here. We found a nice price. One guy's here. Number 13 here, 3 sheets. Very lightly race horse. I love horses who win a race before they go for a spell. That's very important for me. So, good stable, good jock on here. I think $17 is crazy odds. Number 13, 3 sheets here on top. $17 to beat number 1, number 2, and number 7. So, I can't believe the price of this horse. I think it's going to run a great race, and like I say, first start, I think it'll be prime, fresh up, ready to go. So,
1,050 metre sprint race. They'll be like School of Cats here, and you're one. You've got Tegan on, so she loves to lead. She won't be giving that up. That's for sure. I'm going to go with number 14, Stellarcraft, if it gets a run. It's emergency at the moment, but it's really running consistently at the moment. It's drawn barrier 11. A little bit of a concern, but it's just knocking on the door, and it's fine. I think it's ready to pop up, and maybe on Saturday at 40s it might be his race. So I'll go number 14. The top two I have are numbers 1 and 2, the stablemates from the Tony Sears stable, the Conspirator for second, Scenic Road. They're just consistent horses. Like if we just quickly look at win, 4 second, 4 the Conspirator, and win second, win Scenic Road. Like he's got these horses going great, Tony.
Conspirator, very fast horse. If you haven't seen him, you watch this horse. It's got a lot of early pace.
And that's a great job of Tony. And the advantage, as you said, there was the speed. They're drawn barriers 1 and 2.
That's right,
And with their big weight, and after the claim, barriers 1 and 2 with their speed would be a big man.
Won't have to spend petrol getting across.
That's it. And they'll be interested, like I said, I think, do definitely want to watch how the track plays with that Friday meeting. Yeah, he could play leader buys with that nice fresh patch of grass on the inside, so that could be a big advantage. And number 10 for 4th, Arabian King, another one who's just a really good, consistent horse, and it'll be
real
on money.
trial.
Yeah, it is. So 14, 1, 2, 10.
I'll move on to race 6 here, and found one. I think pretty confident this horse will run top 3. I think it's very, very honest. $5.50 at the moment. You can get around $6-7. I think that's great each way price. Number 13 here, I think it's number 3. No, sorry, number 3, Stormfighter. That was
Stormfighter.
Stormfighter for Kelly Dowdy stable. Very, very consistent horse again, like we say. Kelly, good trainer. These horses always seem to pop up, in these colours, these familiar fluorescent lime green colours. I think this horse is very, very honest, never runs a bad race. Coming off a win last start, I love to see that. Like I say, I love horses in good form. I always say winning form is good form. A lot of these horses haven't won for a while or sort of only been around the mark, and this horse fresh off a win last start. Love to see that. Number 3, Stormfighter on top. Number 2 in for 2nd. Number 8 in for 3rd, and number 5 in for 4th. But yeah, pretty confident Stormfighter each way here. Great each way bet.
Nice. Well, this is a provincial series final. $100,000 race for these horses. It's a good initiative for horses that have to get into the final by racing in certain races at meetings leading up to this. So I think that's another good initiative. Give these horses a chance of good prize money. I'm going for number 11's Court Star. It's only won 2 from 14, but it's ran some lot stronger races in its career. First out of the day, ran a good race behind Stormfighter. It led, knocked up, knowing that it'll be peaking for this final. It's drawn a bit wide.